Okay, so step one, going to get a boat. Make sure you take your truck completely apart. Yeah, I'm just kidding. It's a long way to where we're going to get this wooden boat, so just want to make sure everything was copacetic on the truck. Brakes, tires, etc. And while I'm here, I might as well paint. So, gloves, paintbrush, and paint. And yes, it's windy. I should be on the lake sailing today. Good video. It is amazing. It's a beautiful lake. We have returned all the way from Whitefish, Michigan, Lake Superior. And the boat did great. Got a little dirty chasing the catamaran. We had a great trip. Got to see a lot of things and got to show the boat off too. Every time we parked or went somewhere, somebody would come up and ask us about it. So it's neat. We've got some pretty big plans. First thing is get rid of this. Great boat though, really well made. Given that the boat's narrow and long, right about 21 feet, that puts her kind of in a classification of a gig. A jolly boat of the period would be a little bit wider. So I think a gig is probably the best way to describe her. And that would simply be a captain's boat that was used more for exploration and less for transport of goods or men. So another thing too is she will be outfitted with bronze swivel. And it looks like the bronze deck gun that we have will fit in her bow nicely. We'll just have to watch for the weight. Make sure that we don't overload her and cause any more additional problems. So that's the plan. And we did some research. Looks like that we're going to call her Spyder and play on it a little bit by spelling Spyder S-P-Y-D-E-R. The reason we chose that name is in 1782, the French launched a ship that didn't stay in the French fleet very long. It was captured by the British, and the boat was renamed the Spyder when the Brits got a hold of her. So we'll just call this the Spyder, the gig for the Spyder, and roll with it. So next is find the mast in the woods. Probably look at poplar and see if we can get by with that. If not, then I'll retrofit an old mast. But I want something more round and something that I can hank on rather than it has a slot or a track. Why to get rid of the tracks? Well, I got the truck back together. I think it's time to go get a boat to the Great White North. I guess a foot of snow isn't much. We'll see. Well, we're headed north to get the wooden boat. And I have with me my lovely sidekick and beautiful wife, Marceline, the vampire queen, and her black cat. Well, okay. That looks like a cat. The dog contraband, sneaking the dog into the Hilton in Lansing. I feel like I'm breaking the law. At least we got a dog that'll fit into a duffel bag. Made it. So it's day 2, and we're headed over to the western shore of Michigan. So we're literally driving across the state of Michigan this morning. We have a 9 o'clock appointment to look at the wooden boat, which we're going to be late. Little issue with the hotel, and no, we didn't get detained or arrested this time. Yet. We'll meet him at 9:30, take a look at the boat, and then do some pre-maintenance and see what we get into next. We found it.
This is the only one here that's float.
It's all right. Guess what we picked up in Northern Ohio? 2/8 handmade.
Okay. Here's your centerboard.
Okay.
Put it in there. Oh, bad. There's the yoke one in there.
That's cool. Okay, so slide on the track. Make sure you've got 2 of those. We'll probably be redoing that. I don't know. That's pretty sturdy though. There's a lot of force. He's the boat builder, but
Yes, he did.
So
he's an engineer.
Should be hollow. No, I mean, I don't know, I've got a lightning that's made like this. No, not stainless material. Is the sail in good shape?
So,
You think? Yeah. Not much. Okay, so always when we tow, especially a new trailer, I go some distance and check the hubs. And what I'm feeling for is, you know, any heat or any grease run out or anything, which that one's nice and cool, that would indicate a bearing failure, because you sure don't want to destroy the axle or the hub for that matter. But no, they're nice and hot, or excuse me, they're nice and cool, and the tires look like they're in pretty good shape too. So we did bring an extra set of tires and rims, and we definitely want to have those in reserve in case there's an issue. All right, everything looks good. Everything's secured, not hearing any weird noises. The beauty of this planet never ceases to amaze me. Driving across this bridge, I realized that there are two massive freshwater lakes that have come together at this point. It's a beautiful sight. I've never been one to have a bucket list, but I guess in reality we all kind of do. To get the opportunity to see all 5 Great Lakes is definitely a check mark in my list of accomplishments. I really love all the lakes up here in Michigan. I've been to Michigan before, but I've never really been this far north. And to see Michigan in its entirety is a game changer for me. It's wild, it's rugged, and there's water everywhere to sail on. I'm sure we'll be back to sail on it as much as we can. Early morning, Miss LeMaclinall, Marceline the Vampire Queen, is getting our stuff ready. That's her, yeah. Great little hotel last night. Really neat place. So Amanda and I were sitting in a hot tub in St. Ignace that evening. We came to a realization that we have an empty truck. So it only makes sense that after traveling this far into the land of sailboats, that we should return with a sailboat to fill that empty void. Well, at least was my logic. It took some convincing, but then she agreed. After a quick marketplace search, I found an Aquacat. It was very cheaply priced and not too far away, just a couple hours south. So I contacted the guy about the Aquacat. He was really easy to talk to and very informative. So we decided to take the chance and travel. We went all the way to, well, I can't pronounce some of these Michigan names, so we'll just say we went 2 hours south. And after traveling on some sketchy dirt roads and having to use 4-wheel drive at times, we arrived at their lakeside house. They were a really warm and friendly couple. We enjoyed the time we spent with them. We purchased the Aquacat. We had to take it apart now.
You the man. Good deal. Good deal.
It took Amanda and I about 2 hours to get the Aquacat apart. We labeled all the parts, placed all the nuts and bolts in Ziploc bags, and labeled them appropriately. And believe it or not, the entire cat fit in the back of the truck. We lashed the sail to the wooden boat, made sure that it was secure. I really like the design of the Aquacat. It's a little awkward, but I like the smaller cats. I think this one will really fit well into our catamaran inventory. After some more discussion with the couple at the lake house, they recommended that we traveled north to Whitefish. They said, well, you've come all this way, might as well go all the way to as far north as you can in Michigan. And we wanted to go up and see the museum and where the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald site was located. So on the way to Whitefish, and back on the road we were again. On day 4, we woke up and we were treated to a spectacular sunrise off the balcony at the motel that we were staying in. We'd had a great trip and in total covered about 1,800 miles. It was time to go home, sadly. We were packed as full as we could be and had pretty much seen most of Michigan. We'd driven many back roads, interstates, and 2-lane roads. You name it, we drove on it. We got the pleasure of meeting many kind and friendly folks and maybe made a few new friends. Michigan didn't disappoint, and we really hope to go back and sail there very soon. Headed home, 2 sailboats, and a lot of fun. We scouted out around Michigan, east and west coast, and came up with some great places to sail. Excited to come back up with the catamarans. Yeah, catamarans plural. We're working on a way to carry both. And bring the boys, man, and hang out here at this hotel. We stayed at the Bavarian Inn last night, right on the water with a balcony view. Very reasonable, around $100. And a really nice place. Indoor pool, couple hot tubs. I would highly recommend it.